Why President Trump's Hail Mary efforts failed. The short answer, but I'll explain the bigger answer also as we go along, is that Donald Trump's Hail Mary failed because most Hail Marys failed. Hail Marys are kind of like a desperation heave at the end of the game, although in the NFL they're getting more sophisticated about how to try to make Hail Marys work. But by their definition, anything done kind of like last minute out of desperation, doesn't have a high chance of success. So it might seem kind of boring just to do like the blocking and tackling and the regular, type of business every day that puts you in a position to win. Eat the right foods, get enough sleep, treat your employees right, hire the right people, fulfill your contracts, do good marketing. But it's the basics that really put you in a position to win. See, what happens is, for Trump, the basics would have included building a larger coalition. Trump always had 38 to 40% of the people that loved him, but that's it. He never went down and he never went up. I mean, he might have gone up or down a few points, but he just stayed in the same position he was in. And that's not how you move ahead in life. My dad used to tell me that if you're not moving forward in life, you're moving backwards. And I agree with that, because everyone else is moving forward. Most people are moving forward. Like, when you looked at the people storming the Capitol yesterday, there was a lot of like really eccentric is a kind word. People that didn't look like they were really following the rules of society, the way they dressed, the way they talked, the way they acted. A lot of people are following the rules every day, and those people are getting rewarded. Like, eventually everyone gave up on Trump. Pence gave up on Trump, who's been extremely loyal. McConnell gave up on Trump, who's been extremely loyal. Lindsey Graham even gave up on Trump, who's been extremely loyal. I think eventually, if Trump doesn't stop, even his kids will give up on him. What happens is that, you earn the loyalty. Trump is all about loyalty. That's all he talks about. But loyalty is a two-way street, and you earn your loyalty. I mean, Trump didn't get elected because he didn't earn the loyalty of he didn't earn the loyalty of enough of the American public, because he only pandered to the, he only related, to the needs of the 38 to 40%. He didn't try to reach across the aisle. He didn't try to, he didn't try to extend himself to, to win new voters. He just tried to force the voters that he had, the base, to basically overtake things, and there wasn't enough numbers. That's why things failed in the Capitol, because even if hundreds of thousands of people mobbed the Capitol, and there's millions of people that support Trump, but there's more people that support the rule of law than support not the rule of law. So eventually people that break the law are just going to be prosecuted and go to jail, if they're caught. Because, in this country, it's still a minority of people that are willing to, do violence. And, even most of the crowd, are not willing to do violence, but some of them are. And, Trump had a Hail Mary because he's lazy. He was lazy. This is just my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to disagree with anybody. Like, if you don't agree with me, I respect you, and your opinion is important. Everybody's opinion is important. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, Trump was lazy because he was lazy with the pandemic. Like he said, a lot of stuff that didn't make sense. He wouldn't go along with the scientists a lot of times. Now, I'm not saying as president you always have to go along with the scientists, but he never built a coalition. He didn't build a coalition in the country. He didn't build a coalition with the scientists. He didn't build a coalition with the Congress. He didn't build a coalition with his, administration. People always coming and going, and he was always criticizing them behind their back. Now he's saying, he's criticizing Mike Pence, who was like the most loyal person to him, for years. So, like I said, loyalty is a two-way street, and they say that the games or the competition, like in sports, is won in preparation. Like the reason why Steph Curry can score 62 points in a game is because of his practice. Like you just see like the artistry in his game. I mean, he made 105 3-pointers in a row. It shows that he's like practice. Like Trump should have spent less time complaining, less time playing the victim, less time rolling people up, and more time just studying, more time like learning how to be a better president, more time being a little bit humble and just saying like, oh, okay, this is not working. What do I need to change? I mean, in life, either we throw Hail Marys, like we try to force things that aren't working. Like in business, it's like the Segway. They put out all this money at Quibi. They put out all this money to an idea that the market didn't want. Trump was the same thing. Like he's supposed to be such a great businessman, but he didn't apply it in the presidency. And I mean, he had some problems in business also, but I mean, business is not easy. A lot of people have had problems. But, he didn't do product market fit as a president. He didn't take his message and see, is the market accepting me or rejecting me? He just would blame, like if you're a company and your customers don't want your product, then you have to change your product, if you want to stay in business. And Trump, there's a lot of people that didn't want his product. And I'm not saying that Trump's not popular. I mean, a lot of people, love Trump. So I'm not saying like I did in the last, video, I said he's brilliant because anybody that becomes president is brilliant. Only 45 people have done it. But like George Bush II said, a lot of people misunderestimated him. I mean, Trump is brilliant, but I think he's a little bit dangerous. I mean, that's only my opinion, because I think like he incited people and he's done other things that could be construed as dangerous. But I mean, you can disagree with me if you want. I'm not saying you should agree with me, but I think he is a little bit dangerous. But, the larger point is like, don't throw Hail Marys. Like, don't put yourself in a position where you haven't done the homework, where you haven't learned. Like, do the boring stuff. Just show up every day, learn, do the blocking and tackling, do the things that's going to put yourself in a proper position to win. Then you don't have to rely on the Hail Marys.